Hi, my name is Hannah. I'm the new announcer for the one and only Jorg Schlagheck. I have red Crocs and Jorg has blue ones. Ha ha, funny, eh? Hello and welcome to the one and only Jorg Schlagheck YouTube channel. Today, Jorg will be interviewing Rodney Carbonelli, a guy from Edmonton who has been watching and commenting on his videos. You can't see Rodney's comments because they're hidden for frequent use of profanities. Jorg has invited Rodney for this special interview about bike lanes. Rod hates anything to do with bicycles on the road, including bike lanes, of course. As you may already know, Jorg has been advocating for bike lanes for a very long time. This could become a heated debate. So, get out the popcorn and enjoy. Jorg, take it over and good luck.
Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jorg Schlagheck. And with me tonight is Rodney Carbonelli. Rodney, can you tell us a bit about what brought you here?
Well, I got pissed off because you goddamn cyclist activist people infiltrated city council and now you're spending my hard-earned money on bike lanes.
A few months ago, the city of Edmonton passed a new budget. Edmonton's bike plan is now funded. It's trend-setting and unprecedented in North America, but it still faces some opposition.
Damn right. I don't like it one bit.
I believe in the bike plan, but I'm aware that there are concerns that cause people to oppose it. So, Rodney, why are you so pissed off?
The bike plan is a waste of taxpayer money. 100 million could be better spent on other pressing issues like public transportation, road maintenance, or the homeless. The roads are shit. Drivers pay taxes for that, and it's not fair to use their money to make some bike lanes because a small minority is screaming for them. The existing bike lanes are hardly used in the winter because cycling isn't a practical mode of transportation here year-round. Cyclists need to pay insurance and licensing before they can even join the conversation.
The city's budget has allocated $2.2 billion over the next 3 years for road maintenance alone. New construction projects, including LRT expansion, account for $4.4 billion. Bike lanes are relatively cheap and offer great benefits to many people who are looking for alternative and cost-effective modes of transportation. While drivers pay registration fees and fuel taxes that are collected by the province, plus insurance, the overall cost of our car dependency is far greater than what could be recovered from those sources. Bicycles, by comparison, are a great way to get around for almost anyone, especially since we now have electric bikes, scooters, and other mobility aids. Even winter cycling isn't all that bad. The main problem with cycling in Edmonton is the fact that it's dangerous, due to a lack of good infrastructure that actually connects in ways that make sense and allows people to find viable routes for their everyday commutes and other trips within the city. The bike plan is a long-term investment that aims at creating a healthier, more livable, and sustainable city for everyone. Keep in mind, not everybody even has a car. Bicycles are an affordable and inclusive option, but we don't truly have it currently. Most of us are afraid to ride in Edmonton, and rightfully so.
You can't put in new bike lanes without taking up space that's already limited. Traffic is bad now, especially during rush hour. Take away car lanes from major arteries and it'll get worse, causing more air pollution due to idling cars and more delays for everyone who has to drive to work.
Idling cars do pollute, there's no doubt, but more traffic lanes have never really solved congestion. Long-term studies have shown that the opposite is true, and congestion actually gets worse when roads are widened to accommodate more traffic. It is ludicrous to blame car pollution on bike lanes, as the availability of those actually has the potential to reduce car traffic, simply by providing a cleaner option. Not everybody has to drive to work. A lot of people just do it for lack of other options. Bike lanes can benefit many people if they connect them to where they need to go. Unfortunately, roads have been designed and built for motorized vehicles for a very long time in our cities. That's why we have a car-dependent culture. Since space is limited, there probably won't ever be enough lanes for all the vehicles people are trying to move around. A person in a car takes up way more space than a person on a bike. Once enough bike lanes are available, more people will park their cars and use bikes as a more practical choice, leaving more space for those who choose to drive, even with reduced traffic lanes.
Who says that bike lanes are really so much safer? The addition of bike lanes to a busy road network up the safety for all users by creating conflict points between cyclists, pedestrians, and motorists. Cyclists are notorious for ignoring the traffic rules. They always get in my way when I'm turning. You can't even see them until it's almost too late. Want to be my hood ornament?
This is one of the reasons a good budget for bike lanes is essential. There need to be physical barriers like pylons and even speed bumps at intersections where conflict points could develop. Educational campaigns for both drivers and cyclists can help increase driver awareness and promote safe cycling. This can help mitigate fears about safety. From a cyclist's perspective, it's far more dangerous to have large motorized vehicles pass you with only a few inches to spare, especially when many of those drivers are permanently distracted. At least a protected bike lane creates a car-free environment between possible conflict points. With a sufficient budget, potential problem areas will be well marked, reducing the risk for everyone.
Well, like it or not, people who are shopping locally usually travel to their favorite store or restaurant by car. By building bike lanes, you are taking out parking and make it more difficult to access those businesses. The result will be fewer people shopping locally. Businesses will go under. This will f up the local economy. What financial contributions do cyclists make for building and maintaining these bike lanes? Car owners, like me, pay the fuel taxes that maintain the roads. Cyclists should have to pay insurance and license. It'll only be fair.
The opposite is true. More cyclists along the routes bring economic benefits, while motorists are often just passing through in a hurry. Cyclists are moving at a different pace and are thereby far more likely to stop and shop. Other economic benefits could be reduced wear and tear from cars, thereby extending the lifespan of the road. Bike lanes are an asset to any neighborhood. Property values can be expected to increase due to better accessibility for those who don't want to drive for the shorter trips. Fuel taxes and registration fees don't even come close to covering the true cost of constantly building and rebuilding roads. That's the reason why roads are often in poor shape. Funds have to be pulled away from other sources, thereby reducing funding available for other important projects and programs. A reform of the funding model for our road system might be long overdue. Drivers should be charged based on their usage, so higher fuel taxes could be a way to accomplish that. Licensing fees based on annual kilometers would be another. As for bicycles, a registration and tax scheme would create an entry barrier that would discourage cycling, thereby reducing the overall benefits of our bicycle infrastructure. Regarding insurance, don't forget that motor vehicles make the roads dangerous, not cyclists. Insurance rates are based on accident statistics. Cars cause a lot of damage in an accident, but bicycles don't. It would be a shame to let insurance companies take advantage of those who choose bicycles for transportation. Cycling is one of the most affordable modes of transportation, and it's also sustainable. We need to make sure it remains accessible to anyone who chooses it.
Not everyone can ride a bicycle. I don't have one. 100 million could have funded a lot of other transportation projects that are more inclusive, like public transit, for example. Why favor a small minority of privileged and able-bodied people over the needs of those with real mobility issues? We need to make trains, buses, and public buildings more accessible and safer for those with reduced mobility first, before we can afford to spend that kind of money on bike lanes.
While the sum of 100 million seems huge, when put into perspective, it's actually a small investment. Edmonton is investing $4.4 billion into new construction projects, including new wheelchair-accessible LRT lines and buildings. Better bike lanes also benefit those with mobility scooters and electric wheelchairs. The bike infrastructure is just one part of a comprehensive transportation plan that'll improve accessibility for a wide range of users, including individuals with disabilities, to promote inclusivity and equity.
The current city council is a bunch of liberals, and they have decided to serve their supporters by putting bike lanes first without asking the general public like me. People are pissed off because they've never been consulted. Cyclists may think they're morally superior with all the environmental bullshit, but we live in a democracy where everyone's opinion should be valued the same way.
This is BS. Prior to the bike plan coming before council, there were numerous public engagement sessions and even workshops. Public participation is how this policy was created. The opportunity to take part in one of the workshops or give feedback in other ways was open to everyone. Before the bike plan was created, a pilot project was created downtown. It consisted of a small network of protected bike lanes and was widely publicized. Usage was monitored for the duration, and the benefits were measurable.
Cycling in winter sucks and it's dangerous. Who wants to ride a bicycle -30 or after a snowfall? The bike lanes will be empty all winter, but a few idiots are going to demand that they get cleared at insane expenses. Edmonton can't even afford to clear residential streets and sidewalks. Why bother with bike lanes when they're seasonal at best and useless to the majority of people for 8 months of the year?
Winter might be cold here, but it's not the problem. Winter driving is more problematic than cycling. Cars don't always start in extreme temperatures, now do they? They tend to need some idle time to warm up the cabin and defrost the windows. Sometimes it could take longer to scrape the windshield than it would take to ride the bike. Plus, every major snowfall we have hundreds of crashes.
Fuckers don't know how to drive.
There are plenty of places in the world where cycling is the preferred mode of transportation, even in cold weather. Finland and Sweden are good examples, and even Quebec has a great network of bike routes right here in Canada. It's about time Alberta catches up to places like that and creates the conditions for people to use their bicycles for everyday transportation. Bicycles have been around for over 100 years, and they are truly a miracle, allowing people to travel at impressive speed completely on their own power.
Whatever, thanks for inviting me, so where's my $50?
Oh shit.
Fuck bike lanes.
Enjoyed the video? Click like, and if you're new, definitely subscribe. What are your thoughts on bike lanes?